You need to host files and videos online so that you can deliver your digital product. The number one way of doing this is Amazon S3, but that could end up costing you an absolute fortune. Here's how you can get an Amazon S3-like service for a fraction of the cost, and how I use that with my favorite product delivery platform. Hello and welcome to the Marketing Tools Shed, and in this video we are going to take a look at a service which is every bit as good as Amazon S3 but costs a fraction of the price. I'll tell you what that is in a moment, but let's take a look at the downside of using Amazon S3. It is very cheap to store your files, but you do pay a fortune for bandwidth when people then download your files. Now, downloading on Amazon S3 is known as egress, and if you have a popular product, that egress can cost you thousands every single month. And that's where my favourite tool comes in. It's called Wasabi, which gives you the same low-cost hosting. Now, they don't charge for egress, so for most of us, that bandwidth is going to be absolutely free. Now, there is a minimum storage fee, but the thing is, that's very, very low. And compared to what you're going to be paying in total on Amazon S3, it's incredibly, incredibly small. You'll see that a little bit later. What I love about the system is how that it directly integrates with my favorite product delivery tool, which is called Product Dyno. And just so that you know how simple it is to use Wasabi, I am going to be showing you exactly how you can do that yourself in just a few minutes. Now, Wasabi say that your bandwidth is determined on the amount of files that you've got stored. So if your total amount of storage space, let's say that's 1 terabyte, is exceeded by your bandwidth, let's say 1.5 terabytes, then they're going to charge you a little bit of an extra fee, but that's still at a much, much lower cost than you'd end up paying with S3. So either way, Wasabi is a pretty good solution. And to find out how much of an issue that might be, I spoke to Ray Lane. You may know him as the video guy, but he's been using Wasabi for some time now to deliver his products. And in fact, he stores all of his videos in there, all of his products in there, and he's using it as a cloud drive as well. Now, with S3, he used to pay anything between $300 and $1,500 every single month. With Wasabi, he's still paying that base price of $5.99. It's ridiculously cheap for what you get. So that's real world use there, and it means that Wasabi is an incredibly valuable option for the majority of us. But I did promise that I'd show you how to integrate it with something that you use. I'm going to integrate it with Product Dyno, which is my favorite product delivery platform. If you want to know more about Product Dyno, I'll leave a link in the description below. Having said that, let's shift over to the browser and see exactly how this works. So here we are in Wasabi right now. This is the product interface. If you are a new user, you'll see this will be empty. I've already set up some buckets already. Now, if you're used to using Amazon S3, you'll know what a bucket is. If you're not, then think of a bucket just like a folder. That's all it is, really. And all I'm going to do is, for today's test, I'm going to create a brand new bucket. So we'll create a bucket there. We'll call this MTS for Marketing Tool Shed, and then a dot. And these are like any name that you've got online. So anything that would be a URL can be used on something like this. So you can use dots and dashes, and you can use normal text and numbers. MTS, we're going to call it Dyno because that's what we're going to be integrating. It helps if I spell it right. And you can choose any of the regions that you've got up there. Now, I can choose US East 1, but if you've got a new Wasabi account, I think they've taken that away because US East 1 was getting a bit full. So we're going to put that into EU Central because I'm in the EU. Well, we're technically not anymore, but you know, I'm in Europe, and that's basically it. Now we're going to copy. There's a quick setup thing here where you can copy the settings from one bucket to another, and that'll let you get set up really, really quickly. If you don't want to do that, of course, you just click on next. We're not going to bother with versioning because you don't need it for this, or logging for that. And then it takes you to the review. You create your bucket. And there you go. You've successfully created a bucket. Now, when we integrate this into Product Dyno, we're also going to need access keys. So we're going to need to know the name of that, and we're going to need our access key. Well, we'll jump over to Product Dyno right now and we'll start to set this up. So this is the Global Integrations tab. And if you can see there, all you've got to do is click on that Global Integrations thing and you'll get to Videos and File Hosting. That's the area that you want. And on the top here, you've got Amazon, FTP accounts, and Wasabi. So all you've got to do here is click on Wasabi. You see I've already set up one of my accounts that works with Product Dyno, but I'm going to add another Wasabi account here, and the nickname I've got to call it is Dyno Test, which I'm allowed to do. Now you've got a key here, and you've got a secret here, and we'll come back to those in a second. And the bucket name is the bucket name that you've put in here, so you can literally just copy and paste this in like that. The other thing you've got to remember to do is to choose where this is coming from. So EU Central is what we chose. You see that that's mirrored over here. And finally, we need those access keys. So let's click on access keys. Now, I've got a set of access keys already created, but let's say that you don't. You're going to create a new set of access keys, and I'm going to delete these when this is finished, so I'm not going to need to worry, bother with you seeing these because they're not going to be relevant anymore. So we'll show that. And that's your secret key, and that's your access key. You just literally copy your keys from there into here and save, and that's 90% of the process done for you. Now, every time you go and create a product, and I've got another page up with a product here, what we're going to do is we are going to go into integrations in our test product. We're going to go into videos and file hosting, and you can see here that Dyno Test is the thing that we select, and that means that anytime you upload a file, it's going to add it into Dyno Test for you. You don't have to do anything else, so we'll save that account. Now, what I've shown you just there is the basics of how you set up and run Amazon S3, and that's the same as it's going to be for a lot of services. So the things that you need to take away from this are the secret key and the access key and your bucket name and the location of the bucket. Those four things, if you know those four things, that you can integrate it with virtually anything that will integrate with Wasabi. So very, very useful to know that sort of stuff. We will jump over just to show you how easy this is. We'll go back to management and we'll go over to content. So if I wanted to set up some content in here, I'm going to manage the content that's already there, just so to show you how quickly this works. We will add a file. We'll say download now as the file link, and you can drag or upload a file here. Now, I'm just going to quickly find a file. I think I've got one with my signature on somewhere. In fact, let's just click on here. Yeah, here I've got some logos that I've been doing for my own project. I'm going to open that, and then we're going to save that. And then we're done. That's all it needs to do. It's that simple, and it's that quick to do it as well. And if we go back into Wasabi now, you'll see that this is the keys section that we were on before. If we click on storage, we'll find our MTS Dyno bucket, and we click on that bucket, and you'll see that our new logo black has actually been uploaded to the bucket all through Product Dyno. That's one of the great things about integrating Wasabi into a third-party tool. Once it's done, you don't need to worry about Wasabi. Again, the service takes care of everything else. And what I showed you there works with adding videos as well, and it makes the whole process super simple. I mean, in part, that's down to Product Dyno as well. It's worth checking that out if you haven't seen it before. Like I said, I'll leave a link in the description. Now, you're getting an enterprise level file storage system with Wasabi and delivery that is second to none for a fraction of the cost of Amazon S3. And you know what? Amazon S3 used to be the service that we all thought was the cheapest one out there. Now, if you like this video, do consider subscribing and hit that little bell icon at the end, and you'll get a notification every time I upload a new video. And if you want to make your own videos, don't forget to check out my absolutely, completely 100% free course showing you how to use 4 of the best editors out there, and I give you some simple but really effective editing techniques that make your videos look absolutely professional. There's a link below for that as well. Also, let me know in the comments if there is anything that you'd like to see me cover in this videos. I want to be really helpful to you. I want this channel to be really helpful to you. It's not for me, it's for you guys. Anyway, that's it for me for this week. Until next time, thanks very much for watching.